Hi, everybody. Welcome to Vital Wisdom with me, Dr. Eli Camp. In today's episode, I'm talking about immune health and going over some key nutrients and foods and lifestyle habits and all kinds of stuff to help you boost your defenses naturally. I mean, that is what I do. We believe that if we make the body healthier and assist it in what it's trying to do every minute of every day, which is heal itself, then that's what happens. Give it what it needs, get out what's poisoning it, stimulate your healing ability, and you'll be much better for it. So let's get right into it. What are the top nutrients that are essential for maintaining a robust immune system? I'm going to list some off. Vitamin C. This helps with tissue repair, has a direct impact on immune function. Vitamin D. Vitamin D is a great substance, and we make a lot of it when it's sunny outside, and then it becomes fall and winter and deep winter. And we're not making as much vitamin D as we do during the sunny months. And vitamin D is critical for us to maintain a healthy, functioning immune system. It blocks a lot of attachments, viral agents, and it helps our body make new white blood cells and all kinds of really good stuff. Zinc and selenium are both very important for the immune system. All of these things that I'm mentioning either help boost immune function, support specific elements of the immune function. And I don't want to get too deep into the science and the biology of it. I mean, I spent a lot of money and a lot of time going to school to learn these things. I'm just giving you the quick of it, right? So that you don't have to wonder, well, what should I take? What should I do? A great source of selenium is Brazil nuts. Iron. This helps with the oxygenation in our body, lean meats and dark greens. We don't want too much iron in our body because then we can get iron overload. But lots of folks these days are iron deficient, have anemia. It's an interesting phenomenon. Protein in general, right? Phytonutrients, which are the substances that we get from plants, phytonutrients, enzymes, healthy bacteria, especially in our gut, elderberry, and astragalus. These are my top items that are essential for robust immune function. Another type of nutrient or supplement that I think does a really good job supporting the immune system, boosting it, balancing it out, are mushrooms like lion's mane, reishi, chaga, cordyceps, shiitake, and turkey tail. And these are best used in combination, and you want to get them from a good quality company. So that's my top list, those top nutrients. You should have those at home. You should be taking them in on a regular basis. Now, how do they support immune cell function and resilience without going into physiology and cell biology? The bottom line is our body needs specific nutrients and substances to thrive. Not only do our bodies need specific nutrients, but our systems, like our immune system, it needs to be fed and fueled to keep it operating at its optimal level. And when a system runs out of fuel, just like when a car runs out of fuel or a plant runs out of food or water or light, it stops working as well as it could. And in some cases, it just stops working. Now, I know we can get into situations where we have autoimmune, and this is a whole other topic that I'll address in another episode. At a time in history, right now, when busy people are buying prepared meals more than ever before, and eating foods that are grown in mineral deficient soils. We know we've been tracking this for a long time. The mineral content in our soils is declining. And in some places, there are nutrients, minerals missing, or in such a low amount that it's not really even enough in food. Well, it's imperative that we incorporate these nutrients and foods that act as medicine to the body, that fuel our body and power our systems. Sometimes it's not just about what we put into our body, but also how we help our body get rid of things that are creating a toxic state. And I say sometimes, and really, this idea of reducing toxic input is something that we should think about with everything we put into our body. It's not enough just to give our body good stuff and fuel and the extra stuff that we need. We also have to make sure that our toxin elimination pathways are working. So as toxins accumulate, whether because we're taking them in, we're exposed to them in the environment, or just as a result of normal daily metabolic processes, well, we have to make sure we can get rid of them. And when we give our body what it needs, remove what's poisoning it, it can function at a higher level and our health elevates. And when our health elevates, when that happens, our immune system is stronger and thrives, and we deal with illness more easily with much fewer negative effects. I've worked with lots of folks over the years who have embraced this idea that food can be medicine. And yet, even though they know this is a really good thing to get your food as medicine in at your meals, a lot of families struggle with this. For families with children of any age, and depending on how and what foods you introduced, mealtime can be a challenge. We're often dealing with picky eaters, texture issues, foods that look yucky, and about a million other objections. So if you started your kids on sweet foods, packaged foods, or food that is anything other than those considered a whole food, it's going to take some strategizing for you to be able to get them to eat these immune supportive foods. And I'm going to go over them. If you're super lucky like we are and have kids that will eat just about anything, then this endeavor is a breeze. You just need to know what to do. If you're not so lucky, you're going to have to figure out different ways to get these foods not only into your kids, but into you as well. They're going to watch what you eat. So this isn't just for kids. This is for everybody, kids, adults, elderly people. Here's some of the top foods to incorporate into your meals, right? The foods that act as medicine. Unless you have a sensitivity or an allergy to one of these foods, and then, of course, you don't want to include it. So berries top my list. Blueberries, blackberries, goji, acai. These are packed with vitamins and nutrients to give the immune system a boost. They're easily added to smoothies, and even the pickiest eater will often do okay taking them in that way. Omega-3 fatty acids, flax, salmon, tuna, mackerel. There's all kinds of omega-3 sources. It helps white blood cell activity. And for picky eaters, you could do flavored fish oils. You could do fish oil gummies. You could also add fish oil to a smoothie if they simply won't eat the foods. So that's one. Those are some ideas. Leafy greens like spinach, kale, chard, collard greens, mustard greens, dark leafy greens. These all have high levels of vitamin C, which when you cook them with heat, you lose a lot of the vitamin C, but they contain other things as well. So some of that stuff can be eaten raw. Some doesn't taste very good raw. Antioxidants, so they have a lot of antioxidants, have beta carotene. All of these help support immune function. And this is one of the foods that many kids and grown-ups turn their nose up at, but there's such a powerhouse that it's well worth exploring ways to get these into your body at mealtime in different forms. You can try veggie powder that dissolves in water, add to a smoothie. You could explore new recipes, start with small bites at a time, and eventually over time, you'll find that perhaps you and the kids start to enjoy eating these. One of the ways our kids get lots of leafy greens in is freeze-dried as chips and in pureed soups. So I can put a ton of greens in a soup and puree it. We make pasta fagioli, we make a cream veggie soup, all sorts of ways that you can get these green leafy veggies into your diet. I can put cheese on anything and they'll eat just about anything. Nuts and seeds, almonds, walnuts, sunflower, pumpkin seeds. These contain a lot of vitamins and minerals like B6, magnesium, phosphorus, selenium that help maintain the immune system. They're usually pretty easy to incorporate into a meal and also at snack time. So a granola with dried berries, nuts, seeds, some toasted oats, That's a great way to get them eating this food group. It also is a great little energy booster. Herbs, lots of herbs have immune boosting properties, lots. My three favorite are garlic, ginger, and turmeric, and these can be added to foods and smoothies pretty easily. Citrus fruits provide a lot of vitamin C and some fiber. Juice doesn't count. A bottle of orange juice is not the same as eating an orange. It needs to be whole fruit, fresh as possible, not canned. If you can't find fresh fruit, you could try frozen, right? And you could also throw these in a smoothie if your kids don't like fruits. Poultry, believe it or not, chicken is very high in vitamin B6. It can reduce inflammation. It can build up new red blood cells. It offers zinc, which can increase white blood cells. Chicken soup is such a great way. And you can throw in green leafy veggies. You can throw in carrots, onions, all of this stuff. Make it with a homemade chicken broth. Use your chicken carcass for that. Chicken tenders, which is often a very popular kid food, is never my first choice, not the ones you go and you get in the store. But chicken tenders made from scratch, from fresh whole chickens, those are great. Any brightly colored vegetable, right? These contain bioflavonoids and other phytonutrients, vitamin C, carotenoids, enzymes. These are all good for the immune system. Foods like bell peppers, carrots, beets, any of the brightly colored ones, they're all very good for immune function. And other vegetables as well contain things like fiber and extra water. In order to guide you in what to buy organic, I would suggest you use ewg.org as a guide. It will help you choose those things that should be organic. It will save you money. And it makes a difference in the toxic load on the body. Yogurt and other fermented foods. We don't do a lot of yogurt, but we do a lot of fermented foods at our house. This can help restore the microbiome in the gut. And there is a lot of immune function that happens in the GI tract. We didn't always know that. We know that now. Olive oil is a healthy fat that's good for your heart and your brain. It gives your immune system a boost through its ability to reduce inflammation in the body. And you can incorporate olive oil in so many ways in meals and in the diet. It's not a good high heat oil. You don't want to fry in it. It's best cold pressed and organic, and that is worth the extra cost. Foods that depress immune function should be phased out of your home completely. Any food with preservatives, food additives, dyes, MSG, added sugar, deep fried, ultra processed, these are not good for you or for people you love, even though I know they're fast, easy, and they taste good. I know that, but they're not good for you. That's food as medicine. That is not food as medicine. That is food as poison. Be gentle on yourself. It's hard to make a lot of changes at one time. Usually I have my patients make a full inventory of all the food in their house, and we go through every single thing they have in their house. I give it a pass or fail, and then I suggest replacements for them. Over time, they get rid of all the poison and have only food that acts as medicine in the home. Another thing that you can think of in getting your kids to eat some of this stuff, or you yourself, is prepare things on a weekly basis, little snack bowls of different things that you can set out. What is sitting out and easy to eat is often what people will reach for to eat. So a bowl of nuts, a bowl of berries, the freeze-dried berries are great. Any of these things that you set out and about, bell peppers and dip, things like that, people will have a tendency in the house to eat what's fast and easy. And if it's right there on the counter to grab, they're getting it in. So that's the goal. An important thing that folks often overlook when we're talking about supporting immune function and nutrients that are good is hydration status. So we must keep our body hydrated for it to work properly. It detoxes better, you get better absorption and elimination. It provides lubrication for our joints and our muscles. Things move better in the fluids of our body when we're hydrated, you name it. So go ahead and think of water as a needed nutrient to keep your immune system strong and thriving. When to buy organic? Use ewg.org as a guide. not just for your fruits and veggies. They have other things on there. And another great tool, just so that you can kind of monitor your nutrition, is something called Chronometer. And they have a free account and a paid account. And you can use it, you can put in the foods that you eat, and it'll tell you in the day what your nutritional balance is. Did you get enough B's? Did you get enough magnesium? Did you get enough of this? Did you get too much of something? Are your proteins, fats, and carbohydrates balanced? It's really awesome. Even the free account is really great. They have some extra tools, like if you're low in magnesium, the extra tool that you could get on the paid account, which is not very much. I think it's less than $100 a year. You could say, suggest foods to me where I could get this thing that I'm deficient in, right, in my diet. Since I'm recording this particular episode in January, and it brings to my mind this idea about how seasonal change can impact immune health and how nutrition can help. So the immune system is incredibly responsive to a number of things. How we think, that's from the field of psychoneuroimmunology. The temperatures that we're exposed to, stress, how much sleep we get, what we eat, how much physical activity we engage in, and seasonal change. All of these things can impact immune health. So consider these memes that I've seen on social media, and you've probably seen them too. They're especially prevalent during the holidays. And the ones that ask the question or point out, is it really just cold and flu season, or is it decreased daylight and high sugar season? Well, I'm on the bandwagon of decreased daylight because it's lower vitamin D, and that's a critical immune system vitamin nutrient, and increased sugar, which directly lowers immune function. That's a double whammy. We have less vitamin D and we have more sugar, to wax to the immune system. It's no wonder that everybody walks around sniffling and coughing and hacking all winter. Well, it's also a time when fresh fruits and veggies aren't as abundant. And as the weather shifts to cold, we have to divert energy to keep our body warm. And this pulls resources from other systems like the immune system. When it's warm and sunny and we're outside and we are moving and breathing fresh air and making vitamin D and eating foods that we're growing and getting nutrients, moments after we've picked them, our body can use its energy and those nutrients in other systems, like the immune system. When it starts to get cooler, we tend to drink less water. When it's warmer, we drink more, and this affects our hydration status. And again, the more hydrated we are, the better our body functions, including especially our immune system. So by incorporating these extra nutrients, such as the supplements and foods I just went over, and staying hydrated at that time of seasonal change, we can support our body and we can really assist our immune function. There's a lot of lifestyle factors that affect how well the body absorbs these extra things that we take, these vitamins, these supplements, these foods. So last but not least, we have to consider how well are we absorbing and therefore using nutrients. If we don't absorb, we don't use. We just pass them on through. And one of the things that's important to keep in mind is that if people have a compromised intestinal tract from eating bad foods, from eating foods they have a sensitivity to, from taking antibiotics and other medications, from experiencing a lot of stress and not managing it well, not staying well hydrated, aren't sleeping well, not getting good movement in for their body, then they are not absorbing nearly as well as they could be. And when you don't absorb, you're not able to use those supplements and nutrients that you're taking in. So in addition to those things that I mentioned for the extra nutrients and the really good food, you have to keep basic lifestyle factors in mind as well to round things out. So get enough sleep. What is enough sleep? 8 to 12 hours. It depends on who you are, how old you are, how much time your body needs. No less than 8 hours, right? And maybe you're not hard sleeping for all of those hours, but it can include some wind down time at the beginning and when you first get up. Manage your stress, however you have to do it. Meditate, journal. If physical activity helps you manage stress, breathe. Learn how to communicate what you feel to the proper people that you need to communicate it to. Avoid food sensitivities. And if you don't know what they are, there's lots of ways that you can discover that. And I'll have an episode about that later this year. Keep a clean and low toxicity environment around you. As much as you can control that. What you can't control, bless it and let it go. Eat living whole foods. Go easy on alcohol, smoking, coffee, sugar, and other things that poison the body. Get enough physical activity in every day, even if you just start with stretching. Stretch your body, move it, and over time you can incorporate more physical activity. We are built to move. The human body was built to move, and we work better when we're moving our body. Be part of a loving and supportive community of some kind. These lifestyle habits, along with these extra nutrients and the right foods and staying hydrated, this all adds up to a body that's supported and cared for and can engage in the self-healing that we were designed to be able to do. A really helpful therapy that you might want to consider this time of year, and if I've mentioned it before, that's okay. It never hurts to hear it again, but it's something I fondly refer to as magic socks. My kids love it. My husband loves it. And it is done slightly different from one practitioner to the next. This is how I do it. I do it at night, right before bed. In fact, it happens while you sleep. So you want to get a pair of thin cotton socks and get them wet and wring them out really well. You get in bed, ready to go to sleep. You put the wet socks on your feet and then you cover them with, if you've got them, a thick pair of wool socks. If you don't have wool socks, a really thick pair of warm fuzzy socks. Wool socks are not very expensive. It's worth a few dollars to have wool socks to do this. Otherwise, just heavy socks, ski socks, things like that. So you put them on your feet, both pairs, get in bed, cover up, and you allow your body to warm up and dry out those socks. This helps with circulation. It helps pull congestion out of the house, and it is a really good boost for the immune system. So magic socks or wet socks therapy, it's a form of hydrotherapy. It's really awesome. And then the other thing that you can do this time of year, I know I'm giving you two treatment pearls here. If you have a lot of congestion and stuffiness in the head, you can do a steam. And steam is where you take a big bowl and you fill it full of hot water that you've boiled. You can put some essential oils in it, a couple of drops of lavender, maybe a drop of eucalyptus, a drop of wintergreen, not a whole bunch, right? You just want a couple of drops. Or the herbs themselves. Peppermint leaves are great in a steam. And you put your face over the hot, steamy water and put a towel over like a tent. And you breathe in the steam. Now, be careful that it's not too hot. It needs to be hot enough that it steams. You don't want anyone to burn their face or, take in steam that's too hot and burn the inside of their nose or their throat. It'll steam for quite a while, even if you necessarily can't see the steam rising. And if it gets too hot under the tent or the towel, just lift it up, let a little cool air in there, and then you can put it back down. You do that for, 10 or 15 minutes. It's okay if your head starts to drip, right, out your nose. Just let it drip in the water. And breathe slow and deep. Breathe in through your nose, breathe out through your mouth. And if your nose is so stuffy you can't breathe in, the steam is still getting up in there. And often when people are doing this, about halfway through, they'll say, "Oh, my nose finally opened up and I was able to inhale." If you're really, really, really stuffy and your mucus is really, really thick and you can't get it to move, You can always consider N-acetylcysteine. It's called NAC, around 600 milligrams for adults, maybe 300 for kids. This can really thin out secretions and help things move. So I know I went over a lot of stuff. You can listen to the episode over and over again if you need to. There's probably a transcript somewhere in one of the places where my podcasts show up that can help you with all of that. I hope you have a great day and incorporate some of these things. And if you haven't been feeling so good, that you're feeling better. And I'll see you next time on Vital Wisdom.